What is up, everybody? I'm George Mossey. So, 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After Season 7, Episode 11 has aired. Now, we checked in with Libby and Andrei, and we are watching them take a trip to the Grand Canyon, which Andrei feels is the most American thing that you can do based on movies and TV shows that he saw back in his home country of Moldova. I agree, the Grand Canyon is definitely something that most Americans have checked off their list of places to visit, but they are taking their fathers to the Grand Canyon to announce to them their pregnancy. And this situation has gotten a little intense because no one in the family knows that Libby is pregnant. She's actually pretty far along, and they're telling their dads, and then they're going to make this announcement on social media to let the world know, as well as their own family, that Libby is expecting. I do think that this is something that they should think twice about if they ever want to reconcile with their family. I do believe that Andrei has severed all ties with the family, and he has basically made it impossible for them to ever have a relationship because he literally is like a hurricane. Anything in his path, he destroys that relationship and makes sure that it is severed. So the idea that Libby's family will ever really accept them as a couple is pretty far fetched and almost out of the question at this point. Andrei has one by one went to each person in the family and made sure that it's impossible for them to accept him or their relationship. He is unapologetic and even refuses to take responsibility for any of the situations that he himself has caused. I think another thing that I found to be a little alarming is that Libby had no close friends that she wanted to tell that she was pregnant. She only wanted to tell her father, Andrei's father, and she said the only other people that she told were her doctor, who also knew before her, and her dentist. I don't know how likable Libby was prior to being with Andrei, but I do feel like Andrei has really closed her off from the outside world. He's made it as though he doesn't like her to communicate with other people, especially her family. And she's really just put her whole life and everything in her world into that home with Andrei and that family, and she doesn't really have anyone else there. She's pushed her family away. She only has her father, and I really believe that they keep Chuck so close because Chuck is a main source of income for their family. So you have to keep your main source of income close. That relationship can't be severed because without that relationship, there would be no way to pay for anything. So we watched them tell their fathers that they were pregnant at the Grand Canyon. It was actually a nice moment. I know it's hard because we always say we don't care for Libby and Andrei and we don't care for their storyline. We do know that this was a nice moment. They were able to share with their fathers that they were expecting a baby, and we are happy for them. Congratulations. As we all know, Winston Leo was already born. That's how far off we are. So we are waiting to see how this pregnancy announcement on social media blows over with the rest of the family, because let's keep in mind Libby has not even told her mother. Her mother is not going to be aware until she sees a social media post, which I think is insane. No matter who you're married to or how the relationship is between your husband and your family, your mom should definitely be one of the first people that you decide to tell. And it does really show how much she has allowed Andrei to sever relationships and sever friendships and sever communication with the outside world. What I really look forward to this season is the family therapy session that we are going to be able to watch later in the season, where the entire family sits down and tries to talk about their issues that they have with each other and try to find common ground, which we know will never happen as long as Andrei is in the room. He's never going to apologize. He's never going to admit that any of this is his fault, and he's always going to blame everyone else for that situation. So I'm just interested to see Charlie and his wife Megan sitting in a room with Andrei and the rest of the family and trying to hash out their differences. That is where the real entertainment comes in. All right, guys, I'm George Mossey. Make sure you follow me at George Mossey on all social media platforms and georgemossey.com for all your 90 Day Fiance news and updates. I'll talk to all of you really soon.